It's moving at a velocity of about 135,000 miles per hour, so it's going really fast.
It was traveling at an insane speed, roughly 135,000 miles per hour. From the deep, dark void of space, a visitor was on its way toward us. Comet Atlas was supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime astronomical event, a spectacular show illuminating our night sky. NASA even aimed its powerful cameras at it, live streaming the footage for everyone to see. But then, in the blink of an eye, the broadcast went dead. Just a few seconds before the feed cut out, a single, final image was captured. It's difficult to determine the exact size of this object, as its visible brightness is partly due to its activity, not just its dimensions, so we can't truly pinpoint the size of its nucleus. The image revealed something truly impossible, something that defied all natural logic. It was a razor-sharp glint of light that looked entirely unnatural. The live feed never returned and the questions began. A 37-pixel mystery. You see, space is vast, unimaginably terrifyingly vast. And through this emptiness, visitors constantly arrive and depart. Most of them are just silent hunks of rock and ice, silently drifting through the void for billions of years. In late 2019, astronomers spotted another such object, officially named C2019Y4. It was discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System, or ATLAS. But the world would soon come to know it as Comet Atlas. And this was not just any comet. People were getting so excited about it because in its early stages, this thing was brightening at a truly historic speed. We're talking about a brightness increase of over 600 times in just a month. Astronomers were absolutely thrilled. The calculations indicated that by the time it made its closest approach to Earth, it could have been bright enough to be visible with the unaided eye. It was poised to be a celestial event for the ages, visible even during the daytime. People started getting their telescopes ready. The media was already calling it the comet of the century. It was a huge deal. You have to understand, a comet is basically a dirty snowball, a leftover relic from when the solar system was formed over 4.5 billion years ago. They are like time capsules. And this particular one was behaving in a way that captured everyone's attention. Traveling at an incredible 154,000 miles per hour, this icy relic was putting on quite a performance. Naturally, the most powerful instruments in the world turned to watch it. NASA, using its network of space-gazing telescopes, began tracking Atlas. For a brief period, they even provided a live feed. It was raw, unedited data, a direct window into the deep abyss of space. And then, things began to get strange. The comet, which was supposed to become a brilliant beacon in our night sky, started to fade. Instead of getting brighter, it was fizzling out. Scientists quickly figured out why. The comet was breaking apart. Its nucleus, the solid core of ice and rock, was disintegrating from the sun's intense heat. The show was over before it ever really started. But not everything is as it seems. The real spectacle, the one nobody anticipated, was about to unfold in the final moments of that broadcast. At exactly 3:17 in the morning, Coordinated Universal Time, the NASA live feed stopped. No warning, no message, just a black screen. Now, technical glitches happen all the time. But what nobody tells you is that what happened in that split second before the blackout created a mystery that still remains unresolved. In the final frame recorded, something appeared that simply shouldn't have been there. In the lower left corner of the image, cutting through the inky blackness, was a sharp glint of light. This wasn't the soft, blurry glow of a distant star, or the hazy cloud of the crumbling comet. This was a perfectly straight line, a precise geometric shape that was completely out of place amid the gentle, natural chaos of space. It was so sharp, it looked entirely artificial. An edge detection algorithm run by independent researchers later flagged it as an anomaly. It was a line segment almost perfectly straight, measuring around 37 pixels from one end to the other. It was an anomaly so unmistakable, so clearly defined that it sent a ripple of shock through the community of skywatchers who witnessed it. The reflection didn't match any known space debris. It wasn't a cosmic ray. It wasn't a camera glitch. It was crisp and clean and, according to some, it looked like sunlight reflecting off of machined metal. And then it was gone, along with the entire feed. The world was left staring at a blank screen, with the memory of that impossible straight line burned into their minds. What on earth could create a perfect line in the middle of deep space? The questions started pouring in, but the official answers were slow to arrive. The silence was deafening. Had the world just accidentally witnessed something it was never meant to see? A piece of technology quietly drifting in the darkness. The broadcast was over, but the story was just beginning, and a simple camera glitch was not going to be enough to explain this away. The official story simply doesn't add up. Was it an act of God or just a trick of the light? When something this strange happens, you can bet the experts are going to have their say. And they did. Almost immediately, a flood of official explanations and plausible theories emerged to try and calm the situation. The point is, they were trying to explain away that 37-pixel line, that perfectly straight glint that looked so disturbingly out of place. The first and most common explanation was a cosmic ray. You see, space is full of high-energy particles zipping around at close to the speed of light. When one of these particles hits a camera sensor, it can overload a row of pixels, creating a bright, often straight streak across the image. This is a very well-known phenomenon. It happens all the time with space cameras. And in fact, the data did show a transient white streak that lasted for just a single frame, which is quite consistent with a cosmic ray event. The second official theory is a bit more technical: video compression artifacts. Here's how it works in simple terms. To send massive amounts of data from a telescope that's millions of miles away, the video has to be compressed. The software does this by breaking the image into tiny blocks, usually 8 by 8 pixels. Sometimes the compression algorithm gets a little too aggressive. It can take a faint, random streak of light and in the process of squishing the data, exaggerate it, transforming a blurry line into a sharp, rigid one. And wouldn't you know it, the impossible glint ran perfectly parallel to those 8 by 8 pixel blocks. For the skeptics, this was the definitive proof. It wasn't an alien vessel. It was a fingerprint left behind by a video codec. Then there's the third option, which is perhaps the most poetic. Remember, Comet Atlas was actively disintegrating. The theory suggests that a large flat piece of ice might have broken off from the nucleus. As it tumbled, a freshly fractured super smooth surface could have caught the sunlight at just the right angle for a split second, creating a brilliant, sharp flash. A cosmic mirror, reflecting the sun back at us from 71 million miles away. It's a beautiful thought, and it's entirely plausible. A perfect alignment of cosmic rays, digital compression, and a dust particle, all coming together at the ideal moment to create an accidental illusion. But for many people, these explanations felt too convenient, a little too neat. But here's where things get crazy. The counter-arguments began to emerge from independent analysts and citizen scientists. They argued the glint was far too consistent, far too crisp. Cosmic ray strikes usually look messy with a bloom effect, but this was clean. As for the compression artifact theory, others have run simulations that simply could not replicate such a perfectly sharp line. And regarding the ice crystal theory, while possible, the odds of a fracture being so perfectly flat and catching the sun at that exact moment, just before the feed cut, are well astronomical. What nobody tells you is that the timing is what makes this so suspicious. Why did this glitch happen in the final second? Why did the broadcast cut out so abruptly, right after this impossible object appeared? It felt less like a glitch and more like someone pulling the plug.
The universe is
The
crazy.
community started to whisper.
It is
They wondered if
crazier
maybe,
than-
just maybe, that final image showed something man-made, something that was not supposed to be there. And as soon as the system's automated flagging software detected it, the feed was manually cut to prevent the public from seeing anything else. The truth might be more complex than just a simple glitch, a message hidden in the static. So, here we are. On one side, we have a set of perfectly reasonable scientific explanations. Cosmic rays, compression errors, a fluke of light on a piece of ice. Each one on its own could potentially explain the 37-pixel line. On the other side, we have a whole host of suspicious circumstances. A broadcast that cuts out at the exact moment a bizarre geometric shape appears. An anomaly that looks just a little too perfect, a little too clean to be natural. And a lingering silence on the matter that feels less like a simple dismissal and more like a cover-up. The thing is, we have to ask ourselves, is this how it would happen? If something truly unexplainable drifted past one of our space cameras, would they even tell us? Let's be real here for a second. When we gaze at the stars, we anticipate finding chaos and beauty, swirling gas clouds and majestic lumpy rocks. We don't expect to see straight lines. Nature, especially in space, rarely creates perfect 90-degree angles or razor-sharp edges. Our brains are hardwired to recognize patterns, and especially to recognize things that appear man-made, or in this case, intelligently made. That is what made this glint so unsettling. It wasn't just a light. It was a shape that hinted at intention, at design. Was it just a cosmic coincidence? It absolutely could have been. In a universe of infinite possibilities, strange things are bound to happen. The odds might be low, but they are never zero. But what if they aren't giving us the full story? It's not an insane question to ask. We live in an era where information is meticulously controlled and curated. The notion that a truly world-shaking discovery might be kept secret to prevent panic or maintain stability isn't just science fiction. It's a strategy governments have considered for decades. Could the Atlas anomaly have been the genuine article accidentally caught on a public feed? Was the immediate blackout a frantic move by someone at a console to conceal what had just come into view? We'll likely never know for certain. The event officially remains unexplained, but is not considered extraordinary. It's filed away as a mere curiosity, a ghost in the machine. The mystery of Comet Atlas was never just about a strange glint of light. You see, it runs much deeper than that. It's about trust. It's about whether we're getting the complete story, or just the polished version they want us to see. It's about what is kept hidden behind a convenient wall of technical difficulties and plausible deniability. Phrases we've all heard before when the official narrative just doesn't quite add up. That single frame with its impossible straight line becomes a powerful symbol. It compels us to question what else might be lurking in the digital static, just beyond the edge of the frame, in the terrifying silence that follows a black screen. What nobody tells you is that perhaps the true lesson from Atlas isn't about comets at all. It's about scale and how a single tiny detail can alter everything. Just think about it. We're talking about a comet whose dusty atmosphere, its coma swelled to be half the size of the sun, a colossal cloud of gas and debris, nearly 500,000 miles across. It was big enough to swallow the planet Jupiter whole without a trace. It was a true behemoth, a dirty snowball the size of a city speeding through an emptiness, so immense it's almost pointless to even measure it. And yet the entire controversy, the whole mystery hinges on something impossibly tiny. In comparison, a 37-pixel anomaly. In the grand cosmic picture, capturing that glint was like trying to spot a single perfectly cut diamond from a satellite on a beach the size of Texas. It's a digital ghost, a mere whisper of a signal in a vast roaring emptiness. That's precisely why it has the power to completely challenge our understanding of the universe. Space is full of chaotic, beautiful, and monstrously huge objects. Nebulae that stretch for light years and galaxies containing billions of suns. But it's not a place for perfectly straight lines and objects that look like they've been machined. What do you think was captured in that final frame? A simple camera glitch or the first hint of something much, much bigger? Let us know your theories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more answers to the universe's greatest mysteries. Was this the closest we've ever come to a real first contact?